Good afternoon, everybody, on this, well, dullish Friday afternoon, but it's not raining at least. What we got going on today? Let's bring these guys in first. So, with me today, I've got Dale walking without rhythm, JP Party Time Woodwork, and Band Aid Bob, who is now taking the shares out in the Elastoplast. They're going to be keeping me up to date with what's going on in the chat. Welcome to everybody who's already in. And let's stick these guys back in the background and change camera. So that's what I've got on the lathe today. It's a piece of sycamore, again, 2 inches deep by around about 10 diameter. Again, this is quite a highly figured piece of sycamore. I probably am going to colour it, but it's not going to get painted. It's just going to get stained, and see if we can actually bring out the figuring in the sycamore. So I'll get on and do some turning, and the guys can let me know what's happening in the chat.
Well, out in the chat, I can report that we have a Bob Nye. We have a Chris Dodds, who apparently says that the first person in has to be nice to you. Apparently.
That'll be a first.
But I'm part of the crew, so I reckon that sneaks at this particular point. Then we've got Circular Keith by Wood, David J. Heath, the Guildford Carpenter. We've got the lovely Joe Senior. We've got Lawrence Bagida. We've got Malcolm Douglas, who's some fat bloke from Scotland. We have Bailey Woodworks, Michelle Higgins, Mike Yu, Miss T, Paul Houghton, Pete from Twisted Trees, Robert Robinson, Robert Dolman, Cedric Purpose, and Terry Bartlett, Terry Hooper, Woodworm Paul, Blue Light Tumbler. And I think there was a couple of other people that sort of snuck in there from since I started. Oh, Copper Wood Tumbling. Welcome everyone.
And can I just say to Miss T that I love that vase you did the other day.
And can I just say to Robert Dolman, I need your address, mate, and then I can get this pen off to you.
Can I just say to Scott, instead of using plasters, you could always get up to 30% off Style Bond and use that instead.
Can I just say I'm having cider and to hell with a lot of you. I've been up since 7 a.m.
Right, let's just change the camera again. Pinned to the top of the chat is a link to the virtual crafty t-shirt. And that's it. And all the proceeds or all the profits from the virtual crafty t-shirt are going over to the States, to the family of Braxton Worthland, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago, to help with their funeral, medical bills, things like this.
Fantastic cause.
Yeah. Terry, who's a question. Hi, Scott. Did you forget my email?
Yes, right. I'm writing it down on a bit of paper in front of me now.
Right, right. Dale, can you message Scott about the email to Terry? JP, can you message Scott about the email to Terry? And I'll do the same once I finish my live, because this has been going on for well over a month now.
Yeah.
Right. It's on a bit of paper in front of me. Email Terry Elephant. Right.
How did you manage to write it down when you can't use your fingers right now?
It's my left hand that's got all the bandages on, mate.
Oh well.
We've discovered how to slow Wayne down. Keep Scott on the chat.
Robert and Hodgepodge Woodworks over. Robert's there and Harry. We got popped in. We're up to 38 people watching, but only 10 likes, folks. If you like what Wayne does, go on, hit that thumbs up. You're not only helping Wayne, but you're helping other woodturners, because the links will draw. The links in that will tell the YouTube algorithm you like this kind of material, and I'll recommend that stuff to you in your home feed. Out. We also have, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give that notification bell a bit of a ring. As Wayne said at the top of the chat, we have a link to JP Woodworks T-shirt store where we're running a T-shirt campaign to raise money for Braxton Worthing's family after Braxton sadly passed away at a very, very young age. He's sorely missed in the community, and please, please, please buy a T-shirt. All the proceeds from it is going to that worthy cause, and to make sure his family are looked after for at this difficult time.
Yeah.
Also down in the description, we have a link to Steve's show this evening at 7:45, I think. And of course, we have the Buy Me a Coffee, but it's really a wine, but Buy Me a Coffee was really a wine, which is your way to say thank you to Wayne for putting on all these shows for you, effectively free of charge. So go on, buy the man a coffee.
Doug Miller and Steve Ellis have joined.
So let's come up with a question for the chat to have a bit of a giggle. So the question, today's question for the chat is, if Wayne and Drilly owned a vineyard, what would that vineyard be called?
Oh, there you go. That's a new one.
I've got a better one. What is the airspeed of an unladen Scot as he's having a tumble?
I've not tumbled today. All right.
And
I've just got
it's
bit by the
early. It's early,
enforcement
Scott.
bit.
It's early. Andy H returning is in,
No, yeah.
as is Mark
Andy.
from Shop Dog Workshop,
Hey, Mark.
and Michael McEwen is as well.
So you learn all these wicked things off Wayne, like the forcing a bit to mount your bowl, and then you buy a new forcing a bit and it bites you.
Is it possible you're loony?
Yeah, probably.
Right,
No,
the
it's
general
not-
returner's in.
Certified loony.
It's possible he bought the wrong force in a bit.
Could be. One other German one I thought was awesome.
Hodge says, question, is this wet wood looks to be cutting very nicely?
No, it is very dry, Robert. Well, it's certainly kiln dried anyway. But sycamore does cut very nice anyway.
Chris Dodds is asking me a question. He's asking me, is it a European or an African Scot? So I think in this case it's a Sussex Scot. I think is what we're talking about here. So I'm not sure what that does for your calculations, young Chris.
It's a big Sussex, Scott.
It's
So much in Sussex, it's almost in Brighton.
It's a 2XL, should be a 3XL Scot. That's what we're talking about. Steve Ash is saying, an unladen Scot, I think a new measurement would be invented. So 4.3 Jaffas. It's a good one, love it.
That could be a speed measurement, couldn't it? He fell at 4.3 Jaffas.
That's it. Hodgepodge Woodworks says, I think it's a lower coefficient of friction. You know, so what? So 3.1 Jaffas, you know.
Benjamin said, hello, smelly people. On the last live, he said that we all smelt nice when he entered the room. I don't know what's changed. Maybe he's got the flu.
Maybe he's had COVID and it's come back.
Maybe.
1, 2, 3.
Doug Miller at Woodspun Rounds in.
Hey, Doug.
Jennifer's Craft and Creations is in.
Jen.
Pete from Twisted Trees is offering this. An unladen Scot obviously has to fall faster than a fast thing, as he has a queue of other tumbles waiting to happen.
Yeah, there you go. We have a lovely Josie and says, question. Will this piece be coloured and or textured?
Well, it's already been textured, and yes, Joe, it is probably going to be coloured both inside and out, or outside and in, since I'm doing the outside first.
So Terry Hooper says depends on how much padding I'm wearing.
Fanar.
And Chris Dodds just says I'll probably just roll and not fly.
Well, the way I think about it, Scott, is the way Chris is. I think about this idea: he's tripped over something, both feet have left the ground, so technically he's flying. He just doesn't know the secret to flying, which is to aim for the earth and then distract yourself enough at the last minute to miss.
Well, if you get them pads with wings, Scott, you'll be fine.
You can fly okay, you just can't land very well.
No. I land like a brick.
He hung in the air exactly the same way that bricks do.
Christoph says in that case he probably rolls and doesn't fly.
Hey, look, I tripped over the Hoover the other day and still held on to all the boxes as I landed on the floor. I thought that was quite,
They were, of course, crushed under you in the impact at 4.3
No, they weren't.
Jaffas.
They were on top.
Terry Hooper is asking a question there. Scott, you're accident prone? Question mark.
Me? Yep.
You wouldn't think so.
Robert, Hotspot would work with him. The Scott would probably try and go as slow as possible so he can delay writing Terry's email.
No, that is genuine. Forgot, and I do apologise, Terry.
And Mark from Shop Dog says, just go to the edge with all the flat earth era and jump off. We need a sweepy song, a brushy song.
Benjamin's asking, has anyone signed up for the AWGB virtual seminar? 65
Nope.
for 2 days.
No.
Quite pricey, but you can watch all the videos back.
No.
Brush your bowl round and round. Brush your bowl from left to right. Brush your bowl in the morning and night. Brush your bowl in the morning and night. Brush your bowl to keep it right. Brush your bowl with a smile so bright. Brush your bowl. That was the best I could come up with a bit of a Google.
There you go.
Wayne
and his magic brush.
Oh, good Lord.
Right, so I've just cleaned the dust off with some methylated spirits.
Or denatured alcohol.
Or denatured alcohol.
Denatured alcohol.
Just give that a quick dry off. And let the fun commence.
Folks, why not help out Wayne by hitting that share button and popping this live out into your feeds and drawing in some folks so they'll get a few extra faces into the chat and into the show today. So go on, why not use the share button, drop this into your feeds or drop it into your favorite groups and let's get Wayne some extra viewers. Currently, Wayne, you have 51 people watching. And folks,
Excellent.
If you do like what Wayne's doing, please hit that thumbs up.
So Weavy says the secret to successful flying, according to Disney, is to hold a feather.
Ooh.
The top of the chat, you'll find a link to JP Woodworth's t-shirt store where we're running a campaign for virtual crafted t-shirts. The proceeds from these virtual crafted t-shirts will go to the family of our dear friend and contributor to the Craft Festival, Brandon Worthing, Braxton Worthing, who passed away. My apologies, Braxton Worthing, who passed away quite recently and suddenly. Braxton was on the show just a few months ago, and he's left a family and he's left a wife and a young family. So we're trying to do a little something to help them out at this time. So please buy a T-shirt, follow the link at the top. All the proceeds go to Braxton's family.
Yeah. We often joke about promo codes and affiliate links and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's one of the things they're kind of asking you this time.
Terry Hooper saying, question. Scott would be more like Icarus. Go on, Terry. You think Scott's legs will melt and fall off?
Am I? All right, I'm being really thick here. What's Icarus?
Icarus made a set of wings, or his dad did, I think it was. But when he flew and got close to the sun, the wax melted and he fell to the earth and died.
All right.
In Greek, it's a Greek mythological tale which suggests that if you're really painting the story, you should listen to your elders. And if the elders say don't do this and don't do that, you get in trouble. Don't fly too close to the sea, you get your wings soaked with water. Don't fly too high, you'll get your wings will melt and fall.
So do you reckon I should enter the Bognor Birdman next year?
I think you should. I think you should.
Right, now hopefully what's happened here...
cheese. I reckon you'd be a winner.
Hopefully what's happened here is that the black stain has gone into part of the grain and not into other parts. And it has. It's highlighting this feathered effect here. Obviously I've left some of the black in the texture. And we've got some in the feathering as well. So now I'll change colour and do this in ruby.
Very nice. Would you say that ruby's one of your favourite colours, Wayne?
Ruby and, well, actually I've got three favourites in the intrinsic. Honey, flame and ruby.
You don't like any of the blues? Well, I'm not saying dislike.
Well, I do like. Tell you the truth, I do like the blues as well. In fact, right, it'll be easy to say the colours I don't like. I do not like the white whatsoever.
I'm not keen on the white or the earth, to be honest.
Or the earth. I'm not too keen on the dark green either. I like the light green, but I'm not too keen on the dark green.
So that's the forest green.
Yeah.
But you like the pear.
Yeah. Right, now I'm going to give this a bit of time to dry, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of the red off, and I'm probably going to try and blend in some of the honey.
Sid's repurposing. Is it? Yeah, I'll see it. I'll get on that later tonight, Sid. All right. Actually, what you can try and do, Sid, is if you go to the bottom of the page, you can change the location. If you change it to maybe United States or the UK, they may have it in that size there. It all depends on where they're shipping it from. Depends on where depends on the size of their shirts.
So Terry Hooper's asking, what's the difference between the intrinsic colours and the spirit stains?
Right, intrinsic are water-based, spirit stains are spirit-based. And that's really as basic as it gets on that.
It also matters what sanding sealer you put on over the top afterwards as well.
What I tend to... Terry actually says different, but I've always been taught or shown that on water-based stains, you're better off using cellulose sanding sealer, and on spirit-based stains, you're better off using acrylic sanding sealer. It just helps with actually fixing the colour into the wood and stops them running, if you like, or bleeding. Now, what do you reckon? Red going down to honey, or red going up to honey?
I'd have honey at the top.
Honey at the top, okay. See how that's going to blend out. Just take a little bit more. I'll keep the lathe running this time, but I'll turn the speed way down.
Jen says she doesn't like them colours either, Wayne.
I'm just giving a bit more highlight to these areas here, these sort of feather areas, so they stand out a bit more. Any feathering? Yes, there is. I'm hoping we've still got the same feathering effect on the inside when we come to do that. Is that right? Right. We need a new kind of sand and sealer. Yeah, that's dead. So with the water-based stains, what you do is put the stain on before the sand and sealer, otherwise the stain doesn't soak into the wood properly. You put the sand and sealer over the top. And I think you can actually see now how that
Really
feathering's
pops.
turning out there.
Yeah.
Give that a dry again. Turn the speed right down. It's me turning it around about 150 there, which is the low speed I can get on these pulleys. There's certain areas on this where the sand and sealer is just soaked straight in, and other areas where it's sitting on the top.
Rob CP's in, and Hodgkin
Hey,
says
Rob.
that looks thirsty.
Just got another wee bit here. Right, that's that dry. And what I'm going to do now, if I can find the pot, I'm going to use some Yorkshire grit microfine on this. That's the microfine.
Steve Ellis has got a question. It
Yeah.
says, what is the range of speeds on the VB?
On the VB.
Slow to bloody fast.
Hang on, I'll just tell you. The only thing about the VB that I think they could have improved on is that it doesn't have electronic speed control. Right, it'll go from 0 up to just over 2,500. Right.
We need to get a microphone song.
We did have one involved. It was kind of done to the tune of Fat Bottom Girls.
Right, get this rubbed in now.
Excuse me, purpose, JP. I just realised I am wearing the Turning for Vengeance shirt. That's awesome. Yeah, I went to a good cause that campaign. And for people that don't know, the money that shirt campaign raised went to Sophie Lewis from Make It Soap, and we got about $150 or so, I think it was. Robbo's asked a question. He says, "What sort of speed control does it have?" The one I use had an electronic speed control.
Well,
Right.
Robbo, I'll answer this before Wayne because I think mine's might be more entertaining. Well, it depends on how fast the river's flowing near Wayne because it's kind of run by a water wheel.
Right,
Sorry,
Robbo,
go ahead.
in answer to your question, it's a 3 horsepower motor, 3-phase, run through an inverter. So it has got electronic speed control. It just doesn't have a digital readout.
And Rob CP's got a question. He says, "Does Wayne have to use the big faceplate for the VB? Are there different sizes available for the VB?"
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I have never ever used the big faceplate for the VB. I think there's about 5 different sizes of faceplate. There's a very big screw chuck that comes with it. I think the smallest faceplate is a 6-inch faceplate, and I think that's about the only one I've used, to tell you the truth. Turn the speed up a bit.
Crystal says, "Dale, just thought of your name. You're joking, man. Winery and Woodery." That's for the
I think that
vineyard.
was your question, wasn't it? The vineyard.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's
So
the only answer you've had, isn't it?
That's the only one we've had so far. So the question was, if Drilly and Wayne had owned a vineyard, what would it be called?
There we go. That's the Yorkshire grit done. So if anybody tells you can't use Yorkshire grit over colour,
they're wrong.
Refer them to me.
And Wayne will give him a suitable slapping.
He'll have one of his rants.
He hasn't had a rant for ages.
They did.
Did he?
I think he done one on my live.
That wasn't a rant. That was an explanation.
All right.
There's a difference. Somebody asked a question, I answered it. In fact, I thought that was quite polite.
I thought he was. I was expecting those words.
So my offering for this one is 1,000 RPM Hacienda.
1,000 RPM Hacienda. Now my wood wax 22 is going a bit dry, so I might have to press on this a bit harder than usual just to start getting it melted. There we go.
Mark said, "Was it a stupid question?" Yes.
I tell you, it was a stupid idea. I need to go for sitting down here without having gone before I came. Made away, love. Yes.
There you go.
Nice, mate.
And I think that feather. I'll show you the up close to the camera when I finish the complete piece. But that feathering's looking really smart.
So Rob CP's got a question. He
Yeah.
says, does Wayne have a favourite way of dyeing wood black? I'm thinking of buying India ink.
I just use the intrinsics water-based stain, unless of course I'm painting something, in which case I will use either chestnut ebonizing lacquer or gloss paint from an automotive shop, or in fact we were talking about this just before we came on. Get this from Lidl's coloured lacquer, which is cheap as chips.
Lacquer sounds so much fun in Wayne's accent.
Sounds like it should be a kid show, Lack Attack,
Yeah.
with a very
Get
young
this.
Anton Deck presenting.
Or Neil Buchanan.
No, gotta be Anton Deck because of the accent, mate.
Oh yeah, good point.
Neil Buchanan's too busy being Banksy now, anyway.
Apparently so. And a musician.
Let's see what the top looks like.
Rob CP says, I have the intrinsic tester set, so I should try the blackout. Cheers, Wayne.
No probs, Rob. No probs.
Oh, Rob CP had a question that I missed. Question, please. Does Wayne have a favourite way of dyeing wood black? I'm thinking of buying India ink.
We've done
I've just
that, and
answered
then you
that.
just
Oh,
we've
sorry.
done that, and then you
Oh,
just
yeah, my
answered-
bad. Yeah.
You
Sorry.
asked that question.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it was the because I said about the lacquer.
Kitty's shipped him.
Do you think that because of Jamie's love for colouring things at the moment, that he may in fact be inhaling far too much spray paint and it's affecting?
You know what, you're probably right.
He
It's
could well
affecting
do.
I have done a lot of turning.
Yeah.
It
Felicity's
might
in.
even be the turning sealer.
Good afternoon.
You have 63 people watching Wayne. Folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, please hit that thumbs up. That tells the YouTube algorithm you like not only Wayne's content, but the style of content, and I'll make sure it recommends not only Wayne's stuff, but also other woodturners too. If you aren't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving that notification bell a bit of a ring, so you can keep up to date with all of Wayne's turning shenanigans. At the top of the chat, we have a link to a very worthy cause. This is to buy a T-shirt in support of a campaign we're running, which is a Virtual Crafty T-shirt. A good friend of the Virtual Crafty, and for a great many people within the makers community, Brandon Worthing passed away quite recently. He was on the show just a few months back. And what we're doing is we're trying to raise a little bit of money for the wife and children he's left behind to help them through this difficult time. So please consider hitting that link and buying a T-shirt. All that funding is going to a worthy cause. Down in the description, you can find a link to buy me a coffee, which is not buying me a coffee, it's buying Wayne a coffee, which will probably be a wine, but it's really, you pretend it's a coffee, but it's really a wine, but it says it's a coffee. But if you like what Wayne does and you want to help him out, he does all these shows for free. And if you really appreciate what he's doing, go on, buy the man a coffee. We also have a link to Steve SK Crafts, whose show's on this evening at 7:45. And if you're not busy at 7:45, why not consider tuning in and watching what Steve's doing? Alan Rogers Roper's asking a question. Just logged on. What's being created today?
We are doing a sycamore dish bowl type thing, which is getting coloured both on the outside and the inside, and I might actually just leave the rim black and not put any other colours on there.
Wayno's balls colouring running outside. Yeah. Well, there's definitely got to be a thing with Buffalo Girls in that. Where's Huey when you need him?
I thought that was sounding a bit thin there for a minute.
Benjamin saying, Wayne, it's been a while since you've done a box.
It has been a few weeks since I've done a box. Maybe next Wednesday. Tomorrow night, we are going to be doing a bowl with a crackle glaze effect, maybe a bit of texture and some gold leafing. And I think as an added extra, I'm going to do the outside of a vase with a water drop. See if I can manage again to do a water drop effect on the outside of a vase. Terry Hooper asked about that in comments on one of my YouTube videos. So we'll maybe have a play at that, see how we get on.
If it wasn't for your drilly, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary, because you would have to son behon, which is a catastrophe. If it was son by horn. Which is a
Glasgow
catastrophe.
coming out there.
It's got to be done that way. That's where Mr. Connolly was from. You know, you've got to get the Partick in it. Got to get the Partick. Son behon, which is a catastrophe. So you better keep your horns on your drilly.
All right, give that a quick clean.
Jennifer's Crafts and Creations in the chat.
She's been there all the time.
She hasn't.
She has.
She hasn't.
She's been there for ages.
No, she hasn't.
She has.
She hasn't.
As.
Prove it.
Right, let me scroll back that far.
Convenient.
Hey. You start on me, Northerner.
Very northerner.
I was only telling Wendy how much I'm missing you not being up the road the other day. I think I might
That's
change
a
my
good
mind.
Splendid. I'm sure. I'm sure.
That's why you moved, to get rid of me. He's going, yes.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was mainly a bonus.
Seth from Craft Works in.
I don't mean that.
No, your mates are, don't you?
I don't mean that.
And again, when you're going to colour the rim of something like this, don't start on this side, because you're probably going to get some underspray that's going to go into the finish you've already done. Start going towards the other side. That way you won't get that underspray. And this air gun needs a clean out.
Yeah, see, Steve Howe says has.
Give that a quick dry off.
ST's off.
See, I'm just wondering if I could do that a bit later, I suppose. It's me talking to myself, by the way.
What? You better keep your horns on your drilly.
So Pete Twisted Trees is saying that to tell you, Wayne, if you search on Amazon for particular numbers, it is a non-contact rev counter that can be used on the VB.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen a couple of YouTubes of people doing their
They've
own.
got to be calibrated. Usually.
Right, so
I've just
do
been talking
this.
for ages and I just realised I'm muted.
Oh, that's
Then-
sensible.
You know, what we were thinking is that at that point you'd stepped into a new place and you were being, thoughtful and considerate and quiet and contributed, and then we discovered that it was actually a mic. Splendid. Back to the old Jimmy.
Yeah,
I thought he'd gone to that little room in the corner of his workshop.
I did.
What, you mean the kitchen?
Mate,
No,
if
the
he's
other one.
making tea and coffee out of that room, then I'd be worried.
What are you talking about, boy?
Wouldn't be a bad idea to turn that into a little kitchen. Just take the
No,
the bowl
yes, it
out
would.
of it.
Yes, it would. It would, because the other door to you've got 3 doors to your workshop, and one of them's to the kitchen.
I know.
The actual
Mark
kitchen.
Stroughton's in.
Hey, Mark.
You're a loony.
Right,
Hashtag just in.
Think I should put some texture on the rim.
Yes.
Oh, that.
Yeah, why not?
Turn the speed up to about 500. Yeah, that'll do.
Mark Stroughton, how are you, sir? It's looking good. You can hear my dog barking its head off. Seth from Brickhouses Crafts is in.
Hello, Seth.
Is that because Viking Gump's riding past on Bumblebee?
No, I think it's just the geese. As the geese are flying over, their murmurations. He's barking at the geese. They're flying due
Homeward
south
bound.
according to the thing. Yeah, they're flying due
They're
south.
heading-
By the looks of it.
They're heading down this way
Yeah.
because we've got there's not far from Glen Cable is an area where the geese actually fly to winter.
Hang out with their mates, Have a few ski luggage parties. You know what geese are like.
Where was that holiday in? Was that East Kilbride?
I don't remember. Yes, sir. I think so.
There was a big pond on there. 'Cause we was it the first morning or second morning we drove in, and then everything went dead. Just like all the geese were just in the road. Okay, don't get that down here.
The challenges we have a little further north are considerable and many.
That was all the 5G towers.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what I'm going to do with this, rather than finish this with wax, seeing as how I've got the texture on the outside here, a lot of the wax is going to get stuck in the texture. So what I'll do, I'll just knock this back with a bit of, I always forget the name, web racks. If I know I won't, because that was a stupid thing to do. I'll put sand and sealer on first. Then I'll let that dry.
I really like the richness of colour in the centre.
Turn the speed down. Again, I've got the speed at around about 150 at the moment. Yep, that's right. Oh, I can hear the dogs barking.
That's the postman getting eaten.
No, Posty's already been. We are expecting another delivery though. Just knock that sand and sealer back. And then I'll use some, yeah, that worked well. Just use some lacquer on this now. Oh, that's it. Must be somebody walked past the house. They've gone down the garden to see if they can get through the fence. Hello! No bother, mate, no bother. Cheers, I'll get the gate.
He's been eaten. Poor chap.
Has he only got one leg, Wayne? Did the dogs get it?
No, it's still in
Get
the house.
off my land.
I'm sure I'll let the door open for them. Anywho, he got out without being eaten. That's always a fucking bonus. Oh, swore there. Turn that speed down again. Bryn would have just licked him to death.
Andy's off. Cribbage is
Take
calling.
it easy, Andy.
See you, Andy.
That's put a really nice sheen on it, isn't it?
Does.
Right, that's that one dry. I'm going to give this another coat, and then that should be us done.
You're at 50 minutes, mate.
Excellent.
You keep building up them layers, you might reach an hour. Dale said he might have a nap after this.
Yeah, it's true. I might steal a cheeky 30 minutes.
It's got to be done.
I'm going for a
I'm gonna-
PCR test. Woohoo!
I'm getting back on the lathe.
Do the legs take your weight? Jamie, do the legs
Huh?
take your weight? Do the legs take
Oh, do
your
the legs
weight?
take my weight? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yours
Well,
or the lathes? Either of them.
they were straight before I got on it the first time, but now they're kind of bow out now.
Yeehaw! Turning, rawhide.
Yeah, they kind of taper out now. I've really got to put the videos out. I kind of made it
Chris
official
says he thinks
yesterday.
that, Joe's having a nap during this.
I kind of made it official yesterday that month of December I'm going to put out 31 videos in 31 days. And I don't mean shorts either. I mean proper actual videos.
Rob says, CP says, don't tell Robbo, but I haven't been on the lathe for a week.
Right, I just put a wee finger mark and a bit of dust on there, but not to worry, this will be going back on the lathe anyway, because I'll be putting another at least 7 or 8 coats of lacquer on this. I'll do one more coat of lacquer on top of these two, and then knock it back with the web racks, and then I'll carry on doing that until I've gotten about 8 or 9 coats on. But that's the finished
Looks
piece.
Awesome. Look at it.
Nice,
Awesome.
mate.
Absolutely
Real
awesome.
nice.
And that is the underneath, and I hope you can see the feathering effect I was talking about there.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is awesome.
nice. Rex B says, question Master Wayne, I'm getting a good sized cap of black ash in 14 inches by 10 inches by 5 inches deep. Have you ever turned any? How hard is it?
I would say, right, if it's like any sort of ash that we get across here, it'll be quite easy to turn. You might get a bit of tear out at the end grain, but that can be sorted with sharp tools, and I bet it'll look absolutely brilliant.
You're getting
Yeah,
lots of nice comments there. Michelle Higgins says it's gorgeous. Doug Miller, beautiful Wayne. Looks great, Wayne. Awesome work. That's gorgeous, Wayne. Very nice.
And thanks, everybody. Right, I'll bring the guys in and we'll get finished off. So, tonight we've got Steve on. Not sure what he's going to be turning, but Steve's on tonight. I'm not very sure if Robbo's doing a tutorial tomorrow morning or not. I'm sure if he's still in, he'll let us know. I'm back on tomorrow night. Oh, sorry. Jake and Jamie are on around about 7 o'clock. Our time?
It will be.
Or is it 4 o'clock?
I think it's going to be 10 o'clock his time, so it'll be
It'll be 4 o'clock
our time, yeah.
So
Yeah,
4
Saturday
o'clock
morning
UK time,
cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons with Jake and Jamie. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, it'll be me again doing the crackle glaze effect, and not using spray crackle. I don't have any of the spray on crackle. I'll be using the Joe Soniel's crackle medium, maybe with a bit of texturing and a bit of gold leaf. And depending on how slow or fast that takes, I might turn the outside of a vase and show how I do the water drop effect. I'm not going to do a Blue Peter one.
And some random abuse in person, live.
And some random. I never abuse people. Well, other than Scott.
Yeah, I just get all of it. Robbo says that he's not on tomorrow. Ben Jamin says that Martin Sabian Smith is on tomorrow, and Alan Roper says, Wayne, you are an inspiration.
Oh, cheers. What's Martin doing tomorrow?
Colouring, probably.
Oh, is I take it Martin's just going to be No, that's not for a couple of weeks.
No, he's doing. Yeah, he's got one on the. He's doing no. He's got one before that.
Oh right, maybe he has got one tomorrow then.
Yeah. But that's not on
yeah,
YouTube,
with
it's
the
on
only
Zoom.
on Zoom, Ben.
Wivy said it's only on Zoom, so that'll be
Yeah, so that'll be his course.
the finishing course that he's doing
That's right.
tomorrow morning. Sunday we'll have Steve on again at lunchtime. I'm not very sure if Mike's doing a live. I'll have a premiere out at well, it depends on if Mike is doing a live or not. It'll either be 7:15 or about 9:15. I'll have a premiere on Sunday. Jamie, I'll have a one at 11, and I'm not very sure if Jake's putting one out this week or not. We'll have to find out. Grand. Okay, that's me. I'm done. Final look. There you go.
Beautiful.
Nice, mate. Very nice.
Very nice.
So
you should do woodturning as a hobby.
I should do, shouldn't I? I should take that up. Because usually I just stand over there somewhere, answering all the questions. I've got somebody else here doing the turning. Right. I'm going to press the button. Nice to see everybody in. Thanks for coming along, and I will see you the next time.